when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. It's a new year, and Fairway has deals this week like 93% lean ground beef for just $4.99 per pound, USDA choice beef rump roast for $3.99 per pound, buy 2 8-ounce bacon-wrapped turkey broils for $7, or buy 10, get 5 free on all-natural boneless pork ribeye chops. Your new year starts at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about Atomic Diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Welcome into The Drive with AD and Raff. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
Brought to you by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, it is January 2nd, 2024.
Jeez Louise.
Nick, it doesn't seem like it, man.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun.
It does not seem like it, bruh.
I know. It's crazy.
Folks, I'm just blown away by how fast 2023 went. It was just been insane. I don't know. You know, Nick, it makes me want to think, should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot and the days of old lang syne? That's all I know.
Nice. That's right. It works.
And most people go like this.
That's what I do. How did I start that? I was like, I don't know the words. I didn't know if it was Odd Lang Syne. I don't know what it was. So, AD, man, what an incredible weekend of football.
Dude, I told him on the spillover, Nick, man, it was 7 hours of glory.
Yeah.
Literally from 4 p.m. Central Time until 11 o'clock last night. I mean, I was fixated to my TV, man. I had not seen two back-to-back bowl games like that. I don't know if ever. Obviously, you usually get one. But I mean, and obviously I'll say this, and for the outcome to mean so much, because it's for the Natty.
Yeah.
This is for the Natty. And as I thought about it, Nick, do you think, and we'll dive more into this later, but still, I do want to start off with this, and I'm glad you did. Do you think it'll take anything away from what we saw last night when there's 8 teams? Or do you think it makes it even more intriguing?
Here's my thing on, it's interesting that you bring up the expanded playoff, because this is what I thought last night. How can you say that more of what we saw last night is bad? You're getting more of what we saw last night.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, listen, all 4 of those teams came to play.
They did.
You'll occasionally have a blowout, right? You'll occasionally have a Notre Dame slip in there, a team like a Notre Dame slip in there as the 8 seed or as whatever that might get blown out by 20. It might happen. But most of the time, it's going to be those 37-31 games with somebody 25 yards away ready to try and tie it up or trying to take the lead. Or an overtime type of game. Because when you get those caliber of teams put together, the margin for error becomes so much smaller every single moment, whether it's with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first quarter or with 16 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Every single piece of that game is so monumental,
Nick,
to the combination of, or the culmination of the entire.
You bring up a
game.
great point, because think about this. How bad did those mumbled snaps hurt Bama yesterday?
Oh, time and time again.
Over.
The lack of adjustments.
Yeah.
Also, like, you look at it as the lack of adjustments that they made to where, how'd the game end? Like, you can talk about Jalen Milroe and how the play call was bad. In my opinion, it wasn't the play call. It was the execution of it.
You know what, Nick?
It was a low snap
Yep.
Jalen, honestly, the way it looked in real time to me was that wasn't the design play call.
Well,
it looked like it was an RPO action that he could have passed out of. But when you have such a bad and low snap, then it's like you kind of got to abort everything. You got to abort everything and just try to make something happen with your legs like we know Jalen Milroe can. So at the end of the day, like it comes down to execution, which goes back to our point we just said 30 seconds ago, where every single piece of it matters. Because if you nip the bad snaps in the bud earlier in the game, it doesn't happen in the last play from overtime.
Nick, and on that replay, if you watch it in slow motion, I was kind of watching a lot of just slow motion plays. They were showing them on ESPN, etc.
Yeah.
The right defensive end for Michigan shot so far upfield, the lane was wide open if the snap is there.
Yeah.
To where he could have made it, at least had the RPO decision. He could at least made a decision.
Exactly.
Once the ball was that low, there was no decision other than I just got to recover this football.
Also, like you see the chess match, and that's something that, like, I'll be honest, you don't see a whole lot in Nebraska's games. Like, yes, there's a chess match going on. Maybe it just, I hate to use the phrase, it just means more. Like, obviously in the national semifinal, it's going to mean the most up to this point, right?
It means a lot.
So, like, so it technically means more, I guess. But, like, you don't see the type of chess matches, and that's why it's fun to watch, like, as a casual fan, because I can't imagine being a fan of one of those teams and it just being so stressful in that situation. But, like, the chess match that goes on, you get out there and Michigan calls a timeout. And then Alabama has to call a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's obviously on the third time. It's a third separate play. Nick Saban admitted they changed the play 3 times last night on just that one play. You're talking about this chess match that you're seeing between these top programs in the entire country just to play for the national title. So you're going to get more of that next year.
When you said change the play 3 times. Was that indecision or enlightenment?
Oh. I don't know.
I don't know either, because it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you, when you change a play 3 times, because the defense didn't change 3 times out there. Is it indecision or is it enlightenment? I don't know.
I think also at this stage of the year, you have a certain group of plays that, like, all right,
your go-tos.
When we need something to happen.
It's kind of like, what's your tush push?
But exactly. And that's why I think, especially with a program like Alabama, Nick Saban is not going to let the offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, get away with being lazy. He also would have never brought him in if that was ever going to be a problem, right? So then I think about it like this way. With a program like Alabama, they can call the plays we want. It's the same conversation we have at Nebraska, just much more magnified because it's in the national semifinal. It all comes down to execution.
Yeah, man.
Like, and it all starts with a snap. And the snaps were bad the entire game. They were atrocious the entire game. Now, it goes on both players. It goes on the center, but also Jalen Milroe. At some point, you're going to have to go make a play.
Yes.
Jalen Milroe in the overtime period looked tense. He looked tight. He looked like he was uncomfortable out there. But at the end of the day, you got to make a play and figure out if it was an RPO where it's a run pass option, figure out a way to pass the ball off. There, I mean, like, they ran the one play. I can't remember if it was in overtime or if it was just before overtime, where they ran a play. I think it was after Michigan tied it up, and they ran a play to where they, like, Milroe could have just ran it for about, I don't know, probably 6+ yards or so. And he decides to, like, dump it off to the tight end who's in double coverage, immediately gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, why? What's the decision making behind this? Because you started seeing Jalen Milroe get tense and get tight because the momentum clearly shifted about half, or I should say about with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter after Michigan tied it up.
Yeah,
you knew Alabama wasn't going to win.
Nick, did we see week 7, week 6 Milroe last night?
Oh, you did in the third quarter.
And what I mean by that, you just just indecisive a little bit, because first of all, I don't think it's all on his shoulders. First of all,
you look at, like, Jalen Milroe's season here, and he did not start out well. It's also important to remember about, like, Alabama. Yeah, they have Burton on the perimeter. They don't have the receiving core that they had multiple years ago, where it was like Waddle, Waddle. I'm trying to think of the other guys. There was, like, the 3 that they had that was just deadly. But I mean, they obviously got really talented guys on the perimeter. They don't have a Mark Ingram in the backfield. They don't have a Trent Richardson.
Right.
They don't have a
All the
Najee
names.
Harris,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so, like, even on defense, they don't. Like, Kool-Aid McKinstry's like the
You got
name to
you got
watch.
the big D end
So, like,
that declared right after the game,
yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm out.
I ain't coming back. But, like, yeah, which is crazy because it was about 10 minutes after the game. They're like, yeah, he was asked if he was going to be returning. He's like, I ain't coming back.
He said it was top of the clock still.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gone. The papers are already signed. But no, I mean, so like,
man,
in this year of like Alabama being just not as notable, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Milrose started the year struggling.
Yeah.
Like it was the Jalen Milroe of the first three weeks last night, where he was playing tense. The game against Texas is involved in this as well.
Yeah.
But then you saw about halfway through the season what Alabama did. They started to run with Jalen Milroe. And when you can incorporate Milroe's legs into the offense, that's when Alabama started cooking and started getting back to maybe, all right, this is the Alabama we saw. That's how they won the SEC championship game, was Milroe was able to use his legs. And we saw it even last night at times when it was 3rd down and 8, 4th down and short. Whose number did they call? Jalen Milroe's legs, right? So when Jalen Milroe on his own accord doesn't want to run and doesn't want to use his legs as a weapon, then you see Alabama's offense start to sputter. Jalen Milroe isn't as confident in his arm, it looks like. And that's when he gets tense and he tightens up.
Well, I want to say this real quick, man. J.J. McCarthy, and again, we're going to talk more in depth about this, but I thought he played a heck of a game last night because the first play of the game could have shook him for the entire game.
It certainly could.
Even though it was called back, and it was a good call. It was a good call.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he could have thought in his head, dang, these guys are that quick. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to play a little tense and maybe things get a little tight. He showed so much composure. He played with poise. Even that hit he took on the running back, toss back to the quarterback, not the flea flicker, but the
attempted
flea flicker.
Yeah.
And he took a shot.
Which here's the thing, AD, you find out so much about coordinators and somewhat, I think egos is okay to say here with their play calls in late game situations.
Yep.
Right. It's because that is a high ego. We're better than you. And you have to have that. Like you have to. If Nebraska's in that situation next year and Marcus Satterfield calls that play, you're like, yeah, let's do it. Yep. Because once again, what does it come down to? Execution.
Yes.
It comes down to execution because they had a wide open crossing route on that flea flicker that would have been a touchdown. It would have worked if the execution was there. You could say the same thing about Alabama. How about just this overall? And we're going to talk about, obviously, this. We're going to talk NFL because I got some Lions crap to get off my chest.
I put that in the notes. I'm like, you need some time to vent on that one, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll be hearing from Pete Ferguson at some point. But nonetheless, you look at the quarterback battles of last night, right? And it was kind of two different types of games where it was like you had two serviceable quarterbacks, right? That's surrounded by incredible talent with J.J. McCarthy, who he's been asked to be a leader. Yes.
Right.
And he's done that. And he's had some good performances, but you look at like the differences of quarterbacks that we see from like Michael Penix, who does it all and can do it all.
He's
just an all-around quarterback whose draft stock rose.
Oh man.
I mean, here's the deal. We might have to have that conversation here in a while. And then it's like J.J. McCarthy, who's barely thrown for over 150 yards sometimes this season, but just hasn't turned over the ball, has just been a leader, has orchestrated the offense, and has some really, really talented guys around him, specifically on the defense. Same with Milroe. Milroe just has to kind of be a leader and hope that the Alabama name and the Alabama talent can kind of beat teams, and they do. Well, then it's the Quinn Ewers and it's the Michael Penix. Completely different quarterback matchups.
Right.
Because the two best were in the later game.
Yeah, they were. I can't sing enough praise about Penix. Man, he throws such a pretty ball. We come a few text messages before we take a first break. Missy Mud Dog, what's up? Happy New Year. Goes bandwagon Lions fan.
Hey.
He's been riding with him for 2 years. I'll give you that.
It was and when I here's the deal. When I picked them, they were bad.
Yeah, they weren't good.
They were bad.
We laughed at you.
It just happened to be a good when they got good.
We laughed at you.
Yeah.
Hizzle Bear, happy New Year to you as well, brother. Yes, Michigan's 2025 schedule is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sanderson, yes, you're happy New Year to you too as well, brother. Milrose body language, it definitely looked different. Hey, Ron, what's up, brother? Good morning. Happy New Year to you as well. It did feel like 2 national championship games, man.
Yeah.
They really did. It was pretty cool. And I'm going to say this real quick. Hey, Ron, it was really good to see Sarkisian's composure, his class, his decorum after that game, everything he's been through, and to see them there. Like I said, I don't dislike Texas. Like a lot of people hate Texas. If you got championships, respect. Game respects game. Yeah. I respected that, but I was really glad to see the way Sarkisian's composure and decency showed.
Well, and here's the thing: next year, I think so. Last night, right on that point of both of those games felt like natties.
Yeah, they did. Right?
I think next year and in the future, if you get 3 of 4 to feel like natties, that's better than what we had this year.
I think if you get 50%. Out of those 8 games,
like that's the deal. Teams. Yeah. So that's the thing. If you get 3 of 4 to feel like a national title, and then guess what? The 2 semifinals feel like a national title before the entire championship game, before the actual national title. It's not bad.
And we're going to see that.
We forget up until like the day after or the week after or in the moment. We forget how good those games are.
Absolutely.
Because when it's in August and September and we're 7 months removed from national title football, we're like, all right, why we need the regular season.
We're just thinking 6 days at a time, 7 days at a time.
But here's the deal: when you look at last night and we were all in that moment watching the football, we were like, yeah, this is a different level. This is a different level.
Unknown texter, 1131. Yes, he says that Happy New Year to you. He goes, did anybody else have a bad flashback when they put 1 second back on the clock in the Texas game? Yes, I did.
Cue the back.
I will say it was a legit 1 second last night, though.
It was.
That was legit because when that ball went out of bounds,
it could have even been 2.
Yeah, it could have been 2. Folks, we got Husker basketball to discuss when we come back. Men and women both had good weekends. In fact, the women had done something monumental they haven't done in a very long time, so we'll discuss that. Also, some transfers. Nebraska volleyball got a great, in fact, they got an All-American out of the transfer portal from our neighbors up north. And we got a lot of college football to discuss. And, of course, the games last night. And you know what? I would be amiss if I didn't allow Nick to talk about and get some things off his chest about the officiating in that game against the Cowboys. Woo! We got a lot to discuss. Thanks for riding with us on this January 2nd. We'll be right back. It's The Drive, 93.7 A Ticket.
But what about
Atomic Diesel?
That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with
Atomic Diesel.
Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how
Atomic Diesel
and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff, who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Houses? they're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
$93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies. We'll see an afternoon high of around 39. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with patchy fog is possible. Late, we'll see a low around 20. And tomorrow, more patchy, even freezing fog possible as well, especially in the morning. Then mainly sunny skies with the high around 35. Meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
This is The Drive with AD and Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is January 2nd. It's chaos all weekend as far as sports.
Oh, yeah.
You know, before we get back into college football, Nick, I'm just going to say this, though.
Okay.
As we hop into basketball. It's this morning where Texas and Alabama feel the worst.
Oh, 100%.
Because last night you're caught up.
Once they get back into their hometowns and they get back to, I guess classes haven't started yet, but just like this normal life, right? It's the normal life when you don't have to go to practice, when you don't have to watch film. It's the normalcy that's like, okay.
The reality kicks in.
Because it's like, dang, just a day and a half ago, we were playing for a national title berth.
29 years ago, I knew that feeling. And it was brutal. Just knowing what was ahead of you and what you just did, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was brutal. But what wasn't brutal though was Nebraska this past weekend though, man. The men took care of South Carolina State on Friday night. 91-62. I'm kind of laughing because there's a truck across the street, Nick, that is actually sliding on a piece of ice. Not driving, obviously, but he's trying to get out of this parallel parking spot, and the wheels are just spinning, man. He finally got out, but I'm sitting there watching. It's like, yeah, 4-wheel drive don't matter on ice, buddy.
It doesn't matter.
Big boy got out. I'm proud of him. But 91-62, the Husker men took care of South Carolina State. South Carolina State, Nick, did you watch any of that game? Because I did watch it.
Vaguely. Yeah. Barely.
You didn't miss nothing.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is
I promise you didn't miss nothing.
I ended up turning on, as sad as this is to say, I ended up turning on the Missouri-Ohio State game. And
much better than this game.
Yeah, which people forget about Missouri and Ohio State, by the way. We get so blinded by the playoffs. Ooh, Missouri, man.
Pick their biz.
Hey. But no, nonetheless, Nebraska, right?
They took their biz, man.
It's tough to kind of get an idea of where Nebraska's at going into Big Ten play, right? They're going to have their test on Wednesday against the Hoosiers.
Mm-hmm.
I also think
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Gosh, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
But anyway, Friday's game was meaningful in the sense that the guys like Matar played. The guys like
young
Eli
guys
saw substantial minutes. Why? Because if we know anything about the Big Ten Conference, it's physical. Guys get into foul trouble. The officiating, much like in the NFL, is atrocious at times.
Guys get hurt.
Yeah. So when you think about what the benefit was of a game like Friday going into Big Ten play, well, listen, Rink Mass wasn't healthy.
Right.
And we don't know the situation for him and his status going into tomorrow night's game. So now it's all right. If Josiah Allick gets into foul trouble, who do you have to go to? Well, Blaze Gaeta's banged up. He's not even getting an update anymore.
Right.
It's going to be a Matar show. And like that might not make you feel confident, but at least there's 60 plus minutes of game time that he's played in this season, to where in years past it's been like, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but they've had guys that have not played all season long being like, all right, go out and defend
in the heat of it.
Go ahead and defend Trace Jackson Davis. Go ahead and defend Zach Edey. And that's just so much to ask for when Nebraska's already been in years past the lesser talented team.
South Carolina State had 11 points at halftime. Final score is 91-62. It was Huskers. This was their non-conference play at 10-1. First time since the fifth time since World War II that Nebraska finished non-con play with just one loss. The fifth time since World War II. 11-2 on the season so far, folks. It matches their 13-game start since 91-92. 12-1 mark after 13 games. And 11 points is the lowest ever in Pinnacle Bank and a half.
Hey, and that's the thing is, like, I was surprised in the second half. You see this very often though, when better teams are playing teams like a South Carolina State and SC State was missing, layups. Like it was bunnies. And so you see it often though, where they have a bad first half. Then it's not that Nebraska lets off the gas. It's just that
they start putting in your younger guys.
Put in their reserves, right? And so
they didn't need the guys.
Exactly.
They actually didn't even have to play the second half.
Because health is so crucial going into the Big Ten Conference slate.
Absolutely.
Nebraska needs to be fully healthy if they want to achieve their goals. And so far, here's the deal. Besides two of the games, I guess, they passed their tests. And like, even I would say in all but one game, they passed the test, because we didn't expect necessarily to beat Creighton. I think you didn't expect them to lose in the fashion that they did. The Minnesota game was bad. That was bad. So that was the one time that I think that they didn't rise up to the occasion or pass the test.
Mm-hmm.
On the other ones, all 11 wins, they did so, right? There wasn't a loss to Kennesaw State in there this year. There wasn't a loss to Incarnate Word or Gardner Webb that you say, man, that's going to kill you if you're on the bubble at the end of the season. No, because guess what? Now you just had a non-conference slate that nobody's going to be talking about at the end of the game, at the end of the season if you're on the bubble. That's exactly what you wanted. Rack up the wins, rack up the easy quad 3 and quad 4 victories.
Right.
And then now here you have everything in front of you where you're feeling pretty confident, I think, if you're Nebraska basketball going into conference play, because you do have that 11-2 mark by your name.
Mm-hmm.
But also everything's in front of you to where at the end of the season, you can say, yeah, we beat Indiana at home. We won or we lost by less than 5 points to Purdue at home. We got a couple nice road wins. We deserve to be in.
Well, I tell you, someone that definitely showed they deserve to be in too, man, was CJ Wilcher, man. Had a great game the other night. Third time this season with a season high of 18 points. And the thing I like about it, Nick, is you're seeing different individuals be that high scorer, that hot hand this whole season. You know, so it was good to see that. And just the variety of guys that are stepping up, that are getting that confidence boost. And it's helping Nebraska. This is the first time in a long time. We go back here, 09, 08, 92, 93 season, where you had a collective effort to where you never knew who that hot hand was going to be.
Yeah.
You just did. Of course, let's be honest. South Carolina State, Nebraska did what they were supposed to do. But again, Nebraska hasn't always done what they were supposed to do in the past 4 years either.
Well, and it was either you didn't know who was going to be the hot hand, or you only had one potential, right? You only had one Bryce McGowan. You only had one Teran Petaway. Like, you only had one Siobhan Shields at times, where the defense or the opponent, it's so easy to match up. It's so easy. Take Siobhan Shields, take Teran Petaway, take Dylan Talley, rest in peace. Take whoever you want out of the game, and you know you're going to win comfortably by double digits because there's just no other option. Here in Nebraska is honestly 6-7 deep, and that's just a luxury Nebraska hasn't had.
It is. I love it. Real quick, also, folks, before we go to our next break, Husker women took care of business. First
100%.
time they had beat Maryland the first time they beat Maryland at home
Natalie
at our
Potts,
place.
the freshman, continues to shine.
Potts, three-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week. She had her second double-double for her young career with 17 points, career at 13 rebounds. Markowski continued to cause havoc down in the paint, which, you know what, she's making the layups, the easy shots, more consistently compared to last year. She was missing quite a few of those, but they're now 2-0 the Big Ten Conference. They're 13-3 overall. The high score for Maryland was Lavender Briggs. She missed the first 5 games. She had 25 points against the Huskers, but Nebraska, like I said, they didn't shoot terribly well, but they dominated the paint as far as women go. And they took them to an 87-81 win.
And they're going to be a team that's kind of on the bubble as well. So they need to, now they have 10 wins. I think they're 10-3 this year. Maryland was 9-3 going into the game. So now they're 9-4. So I mean, Nebraska, they a team that they've had issues with in years past, because Maryland's been a top 15 team consistently. They figured out a way to get it done.
Nebraska women take on Wisconsin Thursday night at a tip-off there. And so, the Big Ten season is now and ready to go. You're done with the South Carolina States and the other small team that you're playing against. It's go time right now. And it's good to see both of the men and women hitting their strides right now. One quick note as well before we go. Markowski, Jazz Shelley, and Natalie Potts all produced double-doubles this past week against Maryland. So that was good to see.
And you want to talk about, I'll stop the music here. You want to talk about PAC PBA? That's next Sunday. 1 p.m. tip-off, Nebraska women's basketball against Indiana. Indiana, top 10 team in the country, has a really, really good team that do the Hoosiers in women's basketball. So PAC PBA, not only on Wednesday for the men's game against the Hoosiers, but also on Sunday for the women's Husker basketball game against Indiana. As both of those teams, I mean, Nebraska, if you can go 2-0 against the Indiana Hoosiers this week, one in men's and one in women's basketball, you feel pretty good about your programs through the first week and a half of January.
Absolutely. Nyla Boo, happy New Year's to you as well. Horns down. Yes, horns down for sure. And Thunder Knot Collins, yes, bro. You're definitely not alone on that. We noticed that 1 second as well. Folks, we come back, we got history, we got a lot more college sports and football and pro football to discuss as well. It's The Drive, 93.7 to take.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. It's a new year, and Fairway has deals this week like 93% lean ground beef for just $4.99 per pound, USDA choice beef rump roast for $3.99 per pound, buy 2 8-ounce bacon-wrapped turkey broils for $7, or buy 10, get 5 free on all-natural boneless pork ribeye chops. Your new year starts at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is The Drive with AD and Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is cold.
It is cold.
It's cold out there, man. Folks, hopefully you're staying warm on this Tuesday, January 2nd. Second day of the new year. You got 363, Lord willing, pages to write in this thing called life, man. In fact, Nick, in 9 of those days right now, you're going to, I'm not talking about where you're going, but you're going on vacation.
Somewhere a lot warmer here than here.
Man, that's going to be nice. The best time to
Won't
go
be below 84 degrees.
No, ever. Folks, we're going to hop right into history because we want a lot of the time to discuss the 9 o'clock hour. We're going to hop right into history. Let's play that song, man.
All
Let's
right,
play that
here
song.
we go.
Don't know much about
history. Don't know much of biology. Don't know much about a science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be.
Folks, this was in 2003, 2004. This week, we were 5 weeks into a coaching search, and Houston Nutt would not get on the airplane from Arkansas.
Ah, dang.
Him or his dog.
Yeah.
Neither one got on the airplane, was like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. He made a decision, and he did not want to get on the airplane to become Nebraska's next head coach at that time, 20 years ago at this time. Said, I'm just not going to do it. Speaking of coaches, though, you guys, okay, this ties into what we're talking about, too. 1965, New York Jets signed future Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath to a $427,000 contract over 3 years. Pro record at that time, $427,000.
Chump change.
In 1965. Those are guys' game checks right now.
Yep.
And that's what he was getting over a 3-year deal.
After taxes.
After taxes, yeah, after taxes. Joe Namath, of course, the former quarterback at Alabama, the Crimson Tide. We were having a discussion off the air a little bit.
Yeah, we were sitting there talking about
history,
whether or not who would be the next head coach, right? Because now it's going to be every single season. Rumors and thoughts and curiosities are going to start to circulate where it's like, all right, is Nick Saban done? Well, I mean, now it's going to be interesting because it's going to become even more difficult to win a national title. So it's like, all right, who's next in line? Dabo's kind of taken on a decline, if you will. Lane Kiffin is somebody I said that's like done the most as one of the former Alabama assistants. He utilizes the transfer portal, even though he openly admits that he does not like it. I thought that was really interesting over the weekend and something that kind of went under the radar. Lane Kiffin mentioned how he doesn't enjoy the transfer portal.
Right. And was very descriptive of how much he dislikes it too.
And he's a weirdo dude. Like he's eccentric, if you will, just a little odd. But when you look at what is the needs of a coach in today's college football game, and it's kind of Lane Kiffin, where it's like, yeah, we need to utilize it. We have to. And what did Lane Kiffin do? He went out and got Princely Umanmielen, who was a really talented defensive end guy. He went out and got Walter Nolan, who was the number one defensive lineman in the entire portal from A&M. He went out and got multiple guys that are ranked really, really high in the transfer portal that can come in and be immediate pickups. And as long as you're winning games each year, nobody cares at what age they are. Nobody cares if they're just one and done.
Would you say that that Lane Kiffin is our modern day Mike Leach, God rest his soul?
Ooh.
Because they were both pretty. Leach is pretty eccentric and hilarious too.
Yeah,
would you say those guys are kind of similar? Now Leach being a former, he was obviously got a law degree, attorney, etc. Lane's got kind of that quirky thing that makes you laugh, but also makes you think.
Also just doesn't care.
No,
Like,
doesn't care. Doesn't care that they're odd. They're different.
Yeah, it doesn't care about what his, I don't want to say public perception is, because that's not necessarily what I'm trying to get to. It's
I think it's relevant.
He doesn't care basically that he's a weirdo and that he just says whatever is on his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, once again, when you're winning games, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares how you orchestrate a program, whether it's old guys, whether it's high school guys, whether it's portal guys, whether it's whatever the case may be.
Get the dubs.
If you get wins, it doesn't matter, right? Nobody's here at Nebraska, in contrary to Ole Miss in this stage, where they're utilizing the transfer portal heavily. Right. And in Oxford, if they win games, nobody's going to be talking about how they need to go get high school guys. Similar to Nebraska, where if Nebraska wins games with high school guys and develops them like Matt Rule says he wants to, nobody's going to be talking about, hey, we need to go get more transfer portal guys.
Right.
We need immediate help. So winning cures all. Winning solves all issues.
It does.
So,
folks, before we come back, we've got a lot of college football to discuss because there was a lot of great bowl games on obviously after we were off the air. Yeah, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, the Liberty Bowl. You had the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Wow. I think sales like they still got cotton in their mouth at this point. So we got that coming up. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, which was a decent game, and some interesting comments from former coach Mike from White's that chimed in against Franklin. That was interesting as well. Not going to give that a lot of credence, as far as that goes, because I really want to talk to coaches that are in the league still. But a lot of bowl games to discuss, and we still. Man, I know Nick has got something he's got to get off his chest as Pete is happily flying back to Nebraska.
Yep.
After them Cowboys.
Pete's listening.
Yeah, he's probably just on cloud 9 right now. But nevertheless, folks, we'll be right back. It's The Drive. It's January 2nd. I mean, it's a new year. I don't know if it's a new you or not, but you got new opportunities. We'll be right back. It's The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella-topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online
online at prg-ne.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Welcome into the Drive with AD and Raff. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history. We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
Brought to you by Sand Hills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's January 2nd.
Dang.
January 2nd, 2024, brother.
Every day in the 9 o'clock hour, that sun starts to peek under that canopy, and you can see it on the stream where it's just there's a bright spot. And I know in about 5 minutes that's going to be right in my eyes.
I'm gonna see you.
Right.
I'm gonna see you wearing Lokes up, and you're wearing sunglasses here pretty soon.
This
man.
is my tan. I got to tan up. Can't get burnt. But
I'm looking at your face. It's really bright up there now, too, Nick. Your face is really, it's really bright. I'm looking at you right now.
There's a lot of natural light coming in.
Look at you.
You can see all my imperfections.
You're glistening up there, man.
Something like that. I don't know if glistening's the adjective I would use, but here we are. But
it's like a halo.
Yeah, something's glowing. So anyway,
well, that scoreboard was glowing. We're gonna hop into that one first. That I'm not gonna hop into it right away. But the games that we missed that we weren't on the air, we got out right to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
To where Ole Miss beat Penn State 38-25. Nick, let me ask you about this one, man. Were you surprised by that score at all?
Oof. I was not surprised. I think, gosh, Penn State's in such a weird spot, AD, because like James Franklin is a good coach, and there's a lot of places that would take James Franklin as their head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But Penn State just can't get over that hump.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're starting to slowly slide farther and farther down. Like, yeah, they made a New Year's Six Bowl it's wrong of me. But look at the other teams. Like this is a Big Ten conversation that I'm excited to have in the next couple of weeks, because like look, the Big Ten was all over.
Yeah.
The new age Big Ten, I should say, was all over the place this weekend.
Absolutely. And then you have Maryland that thumps Auburn 31-13.
Without Talia.
Yep, without Talia, which was, I didn't think they were going to beat Auburn without him, but they beat them the trans perfect Music City Bowl. These names, man, crack me up.
Yeah, I know.
But the one that, does Florida State just be quiet now after losing 63? Now, granted, Florida State, a lot of guys didn't play. I get that.
I have such an unpopular
but by
opinion.
60?
I have such an unpopular opinion.
Man, 60.
I know. And like, I stayed away from discussing the college football playoff because I had the unpopular opinion about it all. I think that stays the same here. You look at the 4 teams that played yesterday, and they were far and above the 4 best teams that played in the country. Now, 16 starters and 26 opt-outs total certainly plays a factor. I'm not oblivious to that fact.
Right.
But you're talking about mentality. You're talking about energy, things that you can still control. We've seen it time and time again where understaffed, where underutilized, underperforming guys have been able to come in and step up to the occasion.
Yeah, bro.
You're playing in the Orange Bowl. It's not like you got demoted. Here's the thing. It's not like you got demoted to the Gator Bowl.
Well, you're basically playing dang near a home game.
I didn't expect, now granted, I didn't expect Florida State. I thought Tate Rodemaker's decision also mind-boggling. I was stunned by Tate Rodemaker's decision to not play for Florida State, because I look at even if you were going to transfer from Florida State, Tate
You're
Rodemaker.
playing at home, Orange Bowl.
Well, my thing is like, what better stage for you to show that you belong?
Right. You're playing against a team that was number 1 most of the year.
This is an opportunity to show that, I'm good enough to be a Power 5 starting quarterback, and that's why I'm transferring.
Right.
And you just walked away.
And I'm not saying that he makes up 60 points, but you sure don't get blown out by 60.
Exactly.
You don't get blown out by 60.
And I mean, here's the deal. Man, the over-under was 47. Georgia was favored by 26.5. Like, that's not how the Orange Bowl should be. That is not. And Florida State, did they get screwed? Maybe they got screwed out of a playoff berth. That's fine. I think we can also argue and be realistic with ourselves that those 2 games yesterday were as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's
were as good as it gets.
Yeah,
and nobody
marquee.
in their right mind, from a maybe if you want to talk about moral things to do, if you want to talk about the right thing to do, Florida State probably being in probably would have been the right thing to do. But you probably wouldn't have gotten that kind of outcome yesterday.
It would have been atrocious, man.
And so then you talk about TV money, you talk about attendance numbers, you talk about all the business side that people matter about, that people care most about.
Nick, I stopped watching that game in the first quarter.
So like you understand now, because from a playoff committee and from a business point of view, everything worked out perfect for them yesterday.
It did. In the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, that was on Saturday as well. I was glad to see Coach Bull, former Nebraska linebackers coach. They beat Toledo 16-15. Congrats to Coach Bull as he rides to the sunset. The Reliant Quest Bowl, a lot closer game than I thought. LSU nips Wisconsin 35-31. Nick, I was surprised at Wisconsin. This is a team that Nebraska should have beat. Let's put it that way. We had every chance to beat them. And we didn't, of course.
Yeah.
But they, tip my hat to those guys for slugging it out with LSU that across the board we know has more talent.
Yeah, well, in LSU, their bugaboo this year has been they score a lot of points, but man, they allow a lot.
They allowed a lot.
And so they allow a lot of points. Like there was a game, there were multiple games where they scored over 40 or they would have to score over 50 because they allowed over 40. I do want to get to this text real quickly. 4610 says, how do you know what Florida State would have done in either of those games yesterday? It's all speculation. And you're right. I think understanding the day and age of college football, look how important quarterbacks were yesterday in those games, right? Obviously, Texas isn't even close with a mediocre quarterback. Washington probably doesn't win the game with a mediocre quarterback. Neither does Alabama. Lost the game because their quarterback did not make good decisions.
Well, Nick, an unknown texter 4610 is a good question in that. I'll ask this, Nick. Do you think Tate enters transfer portal if they go to the playoffs?
Well, and that's the point. And once again, it's like back to speculation. So
it's interesting banner, man.
It is. And you know how we avoid that? You expand the playoff and you allow everybody a shot.
You get those 8 teams in there. Man.
And we're going to be having, conversations about whether or not 13-0 Liberty deserve a chance.
Well,
like that's the kind of conversations we're going to be having.
Now,
next
Nick,
year.
let's talk about this, because that's the next one in the Fiesta Bowl. That was on Monday, yesterday. They got the break speed off by Oregon, 45-6.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
So although they were undefeated, you have to look. That's where I think that strength of schedule argument comes in. If those teams want to be taken seriously when it comes to the playoffs, then you can't do it next year. But in 25, 26, 27, you've got to schedule some other teams.
I think it's also difficult with some of those teams, the group of fives, right? The Toledos, the
Ohio's,
the in this case, why am I blanking?
Liberty.
And the Liberties, like they have a lot of guys in these 13-0, 12-1, 11-2 type of years that are going to have opportunities to go play Power 5 football. And we know the way the portal works to where spots are limited. A lot of guys go in without a plan. They think they're more attractive than they are, and they end up not having a spot.
Right.
So if you're sitting there and you're a Liberty quarterback, or if you're a Ohio running back, you need to get in there right away.
Absolutely.
And make yourself marketable. You don't have the month to wait.
No, you don't.
And so because there's also other established Power 5 guys going in there. So like then that in turn hurts them going into bowl games.
Yeah, it does.
And so and then also when a Heisman finalist does play in Bo Nix, it's like, okay,
you think at Liberty, you think about this. Bo Nix, all the weapons he has, the defense that Oregon has. Liberty had not seen a team with speed on both sides of the ball like that all year. And they were just literally over. It was almost like literally a tidal wave hit them. And they were trying to get out of it with a teaspoon.
Yeah.
And it was just overwhelming. And you know what? In that game too, Oregon probably could have hung 60 on them easily.
Probably. They took Bo out.
Yeah, they took Bo out.
So,
they could have hung 60 on them.
I mean, think about that. Washington, Big Ten team. Or USC, who beat Louisville, Big Ten team.
Maryland,
Big Ten team. You had oh my gosh, the other Oregon.
Yep.
Big Ten team.
Absolutely. And realistically, next year, the teams that are playing for the Natty are going to be Big Ten teams.
Yeah.
Michigan already is. Washington's on their way in.
Yeah, Big Ten, yeah.
Okay, Brian Ferentz did not have a good last game, of course.
It was characteristic.
It wasn't shocking.
I mean, that's kind of, I mean, here, and Tennessee played a backup quarterback, right? Also, Milton opted out or whatever it was. Yeah. So they had to play their 5-star quarterback from the 2022 class. I don't even want to try to pronounce his name, but nonetheless,
35 nothing.
35 nothing. I thought it was 28. 35.
No, 35. And Jake shared some of those stats, but here's some of the stats. Iowa had 173 total yards, 113 yards rushing, and one out of those 113, 50 was a long run, a long run on that one. And the thing about it, the time of possession was fairly simple. I mean, it's fairly even to where Tennessee had it for 31 minutes and Iowa had it for 28, almost 29 minutes. But it was just, not, like I said, none of those things should have surprised anybody. We've seen that coming in. Hill, the quarterback, was 7 for 18 before he was relieved by Langs. He was 2 for 7 for 4 yards. It just was an ugly performance all the way around.
And that's the thing. Like, Cade McNamara is not saving that.
No.
Cade McNamara is not going to be able to come in. Well, like, I just wonder. He's also a one and done. Like, Cade has 1 year remaining. Cade McNamara has 1 year remaining. Deacon Hill's not good.
I think it depends on who they bring as their OC.
I mean, yeah, man, I guess, but like,
can you imagine?
Do they want to? Here's another thing I would think about, and we're unfortunately up against the clock, so maybe we have to talk about this next segment. But like, with Washington, isn't gonna change what they do.
No,
I think we're moving away from this like prototypical. You're in the Big Ten conference, you have to run the ball. Like, yes, you do. Washington's like a video game offense. Like against Washington State in the Apple Cup, they played that highlight where it was like where in the Apple Cup against Washington State, they ran like a reverse with Roma Dunze, an end around, if you will, and they did that on 4th and 1 from their own like 35-yard line.
Insane, bro.
They're chucking it down the field. They can run the ball well. Like, yeah, certainly Michael Penix plays a pretty big part in that and his ability.
And he's a game breaker. It's like
He
those back
is.
in those old video games.
He is.
He just has that power button on him. The stars are just
Like,
insane.
You're not changing what you're doing.
No.
You're
Yeah, why
not-
would you?
Oregon's not going to change what you do.
Nope.
USC won't.
Mm-mm.
So I think we're about to find out a lot about Big Ten defenses, and maybe against the Michigans of the world and the Ohio States potentially, and maybe Penn State's. Although they're going to be replacing Manny Diaz and their defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably going to figure out a lot of whether or not you have to still just be that prototypical heavy run, maybe a little play action pass to have success in the conference.
Right.
Because I don't think Washington and or Oregon are going to change, or should they?
No, I don't.
Because
think
they're
they should.
doing better than 100% or 98% of the Big Ten conference right now.
Right. As we discussed earlier, folks, we know that Michigan not upset. They beat Alabama, didn't upset. Hats off to Michigan, all the adversity they overcame. Chuckle.
Yeah, exactly.
Nevertheless, they got it done, so it is what it is. Of course, Washington outlast Texas last night in the game that was later. But man, what a game that was last night. So you can imagine what a week from last night is going to be. Obviously, in the college national championship game, that's going to be in Houston, Texas. With a kickoff, at least coverage starting at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central Time. And we got a little quick Husker note on Husker football. Nori's going to be playing the East West Shrine Bowl on February 1st. So good for him.
He's also playing in the Hula Bowl.
Yeah, the Hula Bowl as well. So I'm glad to see him just put his, do what he had to do this year and took care of business. So crazy proud of that kid,
Had some
man.
surgery. Yeah, so we're good.
Crazy proud of him, folks. Well, folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got some NFL action, and there is a lot of NFL action, a lot of things. The playoff picture is getting clearer and clearer, but there's still a lot of dogs hunting. Some have secured the hunt already. They're in. Do they rest their guys? Do they play their guys? I hope, for my Pittsburgh Steelers' sake,
They won again.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they
Hello.
did. Pittsburgh took care of
Mike
business again.
Tomlin.
Yes.
Another year, another 500 year.
Yes, I did not like them going into Seattle.
Yeah.
Knowing Seattle had a lot to play for as well, but Pittsburgh got it done, so we'll discuss that. Of course, we'll discuss the Detroit Lions, too. Pete Ferguson said he's not hard to find. I'm sure he's not, as he posted numerous pictures of his escapade down there to Dallas, to Jerry's World. Folks, we'll be right back. It's January 2nd. It's The Drive, 93.7 Ticket.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies. We'll see an afternoon high of around 39. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with patchy fog is possible. Late, we'll see a low around 20. And tomorrow, more patchy, even freezing fog possible as well, especially in the morning. Then mainly sunny skies with the high around 35. And meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence.
Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Bagels and Joe is celebrating 31 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels and Joe, celebrating 31 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is The Drive with AD and Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom, 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 boom. January 2nd, 2024. Now, I'm still going to have a hard time, writing dates down, man. I'm thinking 2023.
You usually do for a while.
Yeah, I usually do, man. I just got to keep 2024 in my head, man. 2024. Well, folks, what is 2024? And it's playoff time, man. And the playoff picture is getting clearer and clearer as we speak.
Yeah.
And there were some amazing games this past weekend that made those even clearer as far as that goes. Nick, I want to give you ample amount of time, man.
I don't need that long.
Here's my thing, dude. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I thought Campbell did a great job of keeping his composure in the press conference.
Yeah, for the most part. Here's my
because
thing.
I would have said, you know what? I would have came in the press conference. You know what? I'm letting y'all know right now.
Lighting the world on
I'm about
fire.
to get fined. First question.
Yeah, lighting the world on fire. I think here's what the frustrating part is. It was an incredible game.
Yeah.
And from a Lions standpoint, like there was a lot of missed opportunities in Saturday night's game. There were a lot of opportunities for them to win that game. Like let's not sugarcoat it, right? The Cowboys also played pretty well. Like defensively, dude, Micah Parsons is one of my favorite players.
He's a beast.
Ever since kind of following his story out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, place where he was a running back in high school.
Yeah.
He played running back in high school. Imagine trying to tackle Micah Parsons.
It was actually recruited heavily by Nebraska.
He was, and he was actually a Nebraska lean before the writing was on the wall that Mike Riley was going to get fired. He visited Nebraska back on October 7th of that year for that blackout game against Wisconsin, where other commits, if you want to go down a recruiting rabbit hole, Joshua Moore, and you had Chase Williams, who eventually went to USC. You had Mario Goodrich here that eventually went to Clemson. Brendan Radley Hiles eventually went to Oklahoma. TJ Pledger eventually went to Oklahoma and then transferred to Utah. So like you're talking about some names there, but with Micah Parsons, that defense is really, really good from Dallas, especially that front with those guys. But the controversial call, right? This is what's frustrating. Part of a head coach's responsibility is to have conversations with the officials and the officiating crew prior to the game.
Yeah.
That's the part that I think is the most frustrating. Yeah, there's reviews, there's replay that both number 70 and number 68 went and had a conversation with the official. But the fact that Dan Campbell went to the officials prior to the game and said, this is in our play, this is in our repertoire, this is what we do. And we are still going to follow all the rules by reporting the correct guy.
Right.
But then that's on you. It's got to be this two-way street of the officials being fully aware. And just as much as that is a responsibility on the officials, it's on the responsibility of the staffers, of the coach, on the players to make sure they execute it correctly. And so if the Lions truly did, and we'll never know the facts of what was said in that conversation with the two players and the official when there wasn't mics on, obviously. We don't know if 70 was like, hey, this guy's good. We don't know if 68 was like, hey, I'm reporting eligible. We don't know the official conversations. But if it ended up being to where prior to the game, Dan Campbell truly did have conversations and say, this is what we do.
Well, he definitely did.
And he did.
He did. There's no question if he did. He did.
And then in that spot, the officials just completely mixed it up. And then after the play, didn't own up to it and be like, you know what? Maybe I misheard you. That's where there's an issue. Because now this is not the first time that this officiating crew has screwed up in major moments of games. Because there are playoff implications. With the Eagles' loss on Sunday, that would have been huge towards the Lions seed.
They had
You're
they also
talking
had a
about
huge blown call against the Chiefs and the Packers where there was clearly a pass interference.
They didn't call it. But this is where it's frustrating because you want to talk about playoff seeds. And you have the Lions who are going to be a 3 seed, which is still pretty good, right? And they're sitting there at 11-5, but they could have been a 2. And what does that mean? That means a home game when you're facing off against a fellow division winner in the playoffs.
Okay, think what you just said.
Instead of having to go back to Dallas or having to go to Philly or having to go to San Francisco, you get those teams at home.
Think about, take football, take the game away from it. Think about this, what it meant financially. For Detroit. Because if you're the owner in the city of Detroit, you're pissed the call, of course. You're pissed also because of of just the collateral damage of a call like that. I mean, that's another home game.
And that's the thing.
It's huge, man. And this is first of all, there's no knock against Cowboys.
No.
I have no problem with the Cowboys, Pete. Honestly, he knows that. I don't.
Exactly. And take it away. I mean, take away the Lions, take away the Cowboys, take away the team names from it. Just
anybody.
Look at the principle. Look at the. This just speaks to the issue of officiating in the NFL.
And it makes you, the black shirt is crazy. He just did that superstar.
But think about just take away all the names.
Well, it makes you question the integrity of the NFL again.
Because gosh, there's some calls, man, that and not even just in that game. There were calls in a lot of games for both sides, for teams I like, for teams I don't like, for teams I hate, for teams I'm fine with. That's man, is that the correct call? You wonder, It's not good, but you're like, man, is there something bigger going on at play here? Like, what is happening?
You know what, Nick, from what you just
also,
said.
by the way, though, I would like to say, Pete, they weren't letting the Cowboys lose on Jimmy Johnson's retirement ceremony. There was no way. They were going to do everything in their power to make sure the Cowboys won, and that's how they won. I just want to tell you that, Pete Ferguson. There was no way that Jerry Jones is going to let the officials make them lose that game. I just want to put that out there.
Thunder Not Collins says, happy afternoon to you, Thunder Not Collins. He goes, the Lions are going to lose first round anyway, so it really doesn't matter if they have home field or not. But you know what, though?
They might.
You know, Thunder Collins, we love you, man. You're my boy, man, but it does matter.
Yeah, so
because if take, like you said, take Detroit, take Dallas out of it. All we're asking for as fans is consistency.
Yeah, well, so here's the deal.
You got replay, for heaven's sake. Why get it right?
This was the implications. This comes from Adam Schefter, who dove really deep into this, by the way. Implications of Detroit's controversial Saturday night loss. If Detroit would have won, they would have secured at worst the number 2 seed in the NFC. If Detroit had won last night and again in week 18, and if San Francisco lost just one of their final 2 games, which is very slim, right? They would have been the NFC's number 1 seed. With Detroit's loss, it is now expected to be the 3 seed, and a potential divisional playoff game against the NFC East winner would have been in Detroit. But now the Lions will have to go on the road and play an away game if it gets to that point. So you're talking about, major implications. And once again, take away the names. Like if you're a Chiefs fan, think about the Chiefs. If you're a Cowboys fan, like whatever the case may be, take the names out of it.
Yeah.
Just X team had a chance to be the number 2 seed.
It's the principle.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's the principle, man. And it stinks. Houday Trav, what's happening, brother? He goes, they weren't. That was a good point.
You're absolutely right, Houday.
He goes, they weren't letting the Chiefs lose at home. The Chiefs lose at home either.
The intentional grounding call was garbage.
It was horrible.
It was garbage.
It was horrible.
Yes.
And like I said, regardless of who it was, because I have nothing against the Bengals, the division rivals, my Steelers might care less. Nothing against the Chiefs. I like those guys. It's the principle, whether it's that game, the Cowboys-Lions game, you just have to be consistent. That's all everybody wants, man. Did you see unknown texter 3201? He goes at Nick. How about the Cowboys?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what?
Jerry Jones ain't. I'm
gonna tell you something.
Ain't letting the Cowboys lose.
No,
he's opening up that pocketbook.
Oh yeah.
He's going, hey, I'll pay whatever you want.
How much you gonna take?
Man downfield.
How much you gonna take?
Downfield.
How much you gonna take?
Yeah.
I personally.
Hey, you can ref any Cowboys game you want. I don't care if the NFL suspends you. I'm bigger than the NFL.
You know what? I'm gonna say this though, Pete. I really did love seeing Jimmy Johnson back there with all his guys. And I don't care what anybody says, that How About Them Cowboys is just as legendary and nostalgic as Al Davis saying, just win, baby. It's good for the NFL. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of Cowboy haters, which I'm not one. I told you the only team I could not cheer for is the Patriots. Now, if this is the Patriots, I'd be going ballistic.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, here we go again. But with Dallas, it wasn't like it was an evenly matched game. It was one of those unfortunate things. It shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. But I thought it was
take the names away.
Take the names away.
That's the thing.
I thought it was beautiful that Jerry Jones got out of his own way and gave props and gave that man his flowers while he was alive because Jimmy Johnson deserved every bit of that. Yep. And I like Jimmy, man. It was fun to see all those guys reunited again, man.
No, that's cool.
It was good.
Michael Irvin down there on the start line.
It was awesome to see all of them. It was cool to see, man.
I was going to see Strick in Dallas.
Yeah, I think it was in Dallas.
He probably was.
Yeah.
He was probably there.
But them Cowboys took care of business, Pete. And first of all, Pete, real talk, I'm glad you had a good time to see your boys play, man. Sure. Safe travels to you as well. Folks, when we come back, we got one last segment. We got the 80 attitude adjustment. We're going to do Raff's Good Take RGT as well. Raff is traveling. He'll be back tomorrow in the studio.
Yeah.
I'll be here tomorrow and Thursday. Then I'll hop a plane already on Thursday, man.
I'll be here all week.
Georgia. Yeah, I got to go to Georgia. You think I'd say anything about Raiola when I go to Georgia?
Probably.
No.
They don't hate him down there.
Yeah, I ain't saying nothing. I'm going to say, hey, I'm just before
they didn't want him.
Yeah, I want to get my check first.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, folks, it's The Drive. We'll be right back. It's The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies. We'll see an afternoon high of around 39. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with patchy fog is possible late. We'll see a low around 20. And tomorrow, more patchy, even freezing fog possible as well, especially in the morning. Then mainly sunny skies with the high around 35. Meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Load up on meat and more this holiday season at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through January 2nd is spend $40, get a free 14-ounce ribeye, limit of 3. Also, get 15% off wine and spirits only at the North Lincoln location. Don't forget their 2 new locations, now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Chris Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
folks, I hope your January 2nd is off to a great start. And I hope you know what day it is.
4-day work week.
Yeah, I think this is the last week where people are, at least where I'm kind of just, okay, I know you're back in that schedule again.
Yeah.
You're back in routine. You think about it, it's been, as you're yawning, it almost made me yawn just now.
Sorry.
It's been since
late night.
Yeah, it's been since December 23rd since I've kind of just been, just, okay, now what day is it right now?
Yeah, just kind of back and forth.
Yeah. So you think about that.
Back-to-back 4-day work weeks. So,
And you literally just made me yawn.
No, you said it.
Yeah.
AD, you're killing me here.
You're killing me here. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. So hopefully you get some regularity and routine back. I said vacation and the holidays are always great, but it's always great to get back to some routine.
Yeah.
And action. It dawned on me 3 days ago. I was like, dude, I got to catch a plane next week. And this is very early for me to be traveling, but grateful to get back into some routine
Georgia?
again. I fly into Georgia, but then drive over to Alabama.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I'll fly into Atlanta. There's like an hour and 10-minute drive to where I'm going in Alabama. It is something county where I'm speaking at.
Are you driving or is somebody else driving you?
I don't want to get into that.
Okay. One of the perks of being older than 25.
Yeah.
One of the
Actually,
perks.
there'll be a car there. There'll be a car service or whatever. Because I go to Seal, Seale, Alabama.
Okay.
Seal, Alabama. So it's
Nice.
not very far. Are you driving? I don't want to get into that.
Well, one of the perks of being 12.
In the words of Bill Callahan, I really don't want to get into that right now. I really don't want to discuss that. Nick, I'm a little offended you asked me about that.
That's something you asked me off air. You need to ask me off air.
That's really none of your blank business.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach, why couldn't you guys stop anybody from scoring? I'm really offended you asked me that
That's
question.
none of your business.
What's the quickest way out of Nebraska, Husker fan?
Coach, it's my job.
Well, folks, the 80 Attitude Adjustment, as always, is sponsored by Integrated Life Choices. ILC is hiring for direct support professionals all over the state of Nebraska, full-time, part-time days, evenings, and weekends. Help ensure a meaningful life for the people you support and help achieve their hopes and dreams. Apply at ilc.net/careers. Folks, the 80 Attitude Adjustment is this. Give them grace. What do I mean by that? You see all these folks that type new year, new me, and the people that, ache and moan about the new people coming to the gyms or they'll just be gone in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, did you always go to the gym? Did you always try to create those habits, whether it's financially, physically, spiritually? And give people grace. I love seeing the new people at the gyms. I love seeing people because you know what? That means they haven't given up. Because some people just say, yeah, screw it, it's new year, same old me. No, folks, if you got some goals and things you want to achieve, go after it. And don't worry about the naysayers. There's a lot of things that I would like to change and I'm going to have to change in my life, as far as habits and behaviors. And I'm excited for them. It's not always easy. In fact, it's been painful for some of the changes I've had to make, consequence of choices I've made. So I applaud them new folks at the gym. When I see them, they say, how do you do this? I'm like, man, I'll help you out. Not like we'll move out the way. No, help them out. Remember, you were one time going to a place for your first time too. Nick, perfect example, the way that you walked me through this radio thing. Now, imagine somebody came off the streets and want to get a radio. They should know how to click all those buttons.
Yeah.
No, you were first timer one time too. Now you do it. You can do it in your sleep. Yeah. Such is the same thing with people trying to do habits. Folks,
I was always jacked.
I
never had an issue. I never had the warm-up stage in the gym.
Folks, give them the grace you would like to see for yourself as well. Folks, that is The Drive. We'll be back with a full crew tomorrow. Enjoy this Tuesday, January 2nd. Thank you much. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK